Y'all, buckle in, because this entire situation with Coi Leray and her ex, Trippie Red, has officially gone from a quiet breakup to a full-scale digital meltdown. What you are about to hear genuinely feels like one of those moments where the internet collectively gasps, screenshots every post, and waits for the next twist like it is a season finale of their favorite messy drama. Because right now, Coi is heated, Trippie is spiraling, and the internet is treating this entire thing like a live-action betrayal saga. It all started when Coi stepped out publicly with LaBoy, yes, that LaBoy, as her new man. She basically declared him the best thing that has ever happened to her, and social media ate it up instantly. Timelines exploded. Memes appeared within minutes. Fans were cheering for her glow up, saying things like, "Finally, she found peace," and "Let her be happy for once." But apparently, that happiness crawled under Trippie Red's skin and started living there rent-free, because the energy he switched into, nobody saw that coming. Instead of letting her move on, Trippie jumped online and began talking like he had been waiting months to unleash this chaos. Suddenly he started claiming that Coi allegedly cheated on him first, that she had been secretly messing around with Justin long before the breakup, and that the entire internet had been clowned by Coi's good girl image. And then, because every scandal needs a nuclear button, he threatened to leak a full tape that he claims proves everything he is saying. Fans were stunned. Nobody could decide if he was telling the truth, or if he was just trying to burn the bridge that Coi walked away on. Now the wild part? The internet is convinced that he is trying to sabotage Coi's new relationship before it even has a chance to breathe. Comment sections became investigation threads. People were saying things like, he is trying to ruin her happiness because he cannot control her anymore, while others were digging up old receipts from their past drama. But here is the twist that Trippie definitely did not expect: Coi is firing back. And the way she is snapping right now, the digital air feels like static electricity before a storm. She is calling him out, shutting him down, and refusing to let him rewrite the narrative of their breakup. And when you zoom out, the entire picture becomes even more chaotic. Trippie truly did not expect Coi to move on this quickly or this publicly, especially considering the breakup happened 10 months ago, after she dumped him for cheating on her while she was pregnant. That detail alone has the internet shook all over again. But now? Now Coi is stepping into the spotlight with LaBoy, and the vibe is giving, "We have been together quietly for a while, we just did not want the world involved yet." So here we are, watching a breakup evolve into a full-blown war, with betrayal accusations, leak tape threats, social media spirals, and a new relationship caught in the crossfire. And if this is what the first 24 hours look like, then y'all, the next chapter might be even uglier. And honestly, when you look at the way Trippie Red reacted the moment Coi stepped out with Justin, you can practically feel why the relationship was kept underground at first. The tension was sitting there like a ticking bomb waiting for someone to breathe too loud. But then came Justin's birthday, and Coi simply could not keep her feelings tucked away anymore. She poured her heart out online, posting, "Happy birthday. Best thing to come into my life besides my child. Thank you for being you and having the biggest heart. 2026 is going to be so special. Mwah. I love you, Mr. Man." And y'all, the internet stopped. Comment sections froze. Celebrities lurked. Even the algorithm itself probably leaned forward. Because the tone of that message was not casual. It was not soft launch energy. It was full-blown, "This is my person and I want the world to know." And in seconds, Justin returned that same energy by dropping a video of them wrapped up in each other, grinning ear to ear like they had just won the lottery of love. He hit the timeline with that warm, grateful energy and even added a little shade sprinkled on top by saying he was thankful for the men who fumbled her in the past. Oh, the shade. Oh, the indirect fire. Oh, the internet chaos that followed. Fans immediately took that as a direct shot at Trippie Red. Not even a subliminal. A whole billboard. Because Trippie really did fumble Coi in ways that are still being discussed on TikTok analysis videos. And given how messy he has been historically, the collective internet knew it was only a matter of time before he did what he always does, crash out online like he was auditioning for the role of Most Unhinged Ex of the Year. And apparently, according to multiple online whispers, his crash out this time is about to be on another level entirely. But let us rewind to the breakup receipts. Everyone remembers how Coi announced the split earlier this year, right? She said, "Nothing worse than being cheated on. I would not wish this pain on my worst enemy. God bless." That alone had people flooding her comments with love and support. She then reposted a quote that said, "Actions will always reveal the truth. People who do not value you show it, no matter what they say. When you see it, believe it." She even shaded the woman Trippie allegedly cheated with, saying, "Girls do not care if he has a baby on the way, married, in a relationship, happily in love. They will still be there. What matters is a man's discipline and how he does not play about his girl. He has to be ready for commitment 100%. Meanwhile, Trippie Redd was online acting like he had not just detonated a whole family situation. He posted, "To every woman I ever did wrong, I would do it again." That was his energy. That was his attitude. The internet gasped. People said he was proud of being toxic. He did not care. Not even a little bit. And things got even worse when reports circulated that Coi was so devastated by the breakup that she even distanced herself from her father, Benzino, after he made comments that defended Trippie's cheating. And if anyone knows their family history, that was a deep cut. That was beyond shade. That was betrayal layered on betrayal. She drew a line in the sand, and her father was left standing on the opposite side. But just when everyone thought the narrative was clear, Trippie Redd flipped the entire script upside down like he was dropping a plot twist for ratings. Now he is claiming that Coi lied about everything. According to him, she used the cheating narrative as damage control, painting herself as the victim before he had the chance to tell the world his side. He claims that she cheated first, and that this supposed betrayal pushed him into retaliation cheating. And that is supposedly why he proudly said, "Everything I did wrong? I would do it again." In his mind, he was reacting, not initiating. But hold on, because the story does not just stop there. It gets hotter. It gets more chaotic. It gets so dramatic that you almost wonder if someone in Hollywood is taking notes for a movie script. Because guess who Trippie is accusing her of cheating with? Justin LaBoy. Of course. The chaos conductor himself. The man who built an entire empire out of stirring relationship drama at 2 in the morning. Why would he not be involved? Why would he not be standing right in the eye of the hurricane with a ring light on? And then came the mother of all plot twists. Sources are claiming that Trippie allegedly has a tape of Justin and Coi getting intimate while she was still dating him, and he is threatening to leak it unless she apologizes publicly. When that rumor hit social media, jaws dropped so fast the comment sections practically cracked open. Because threatening to leak a tape? That is not petty drama anymore. That is not tea. That is federal case energy. That is, someone call the lawyers, grab the crisis managers, and prepare a statement immediately energy. Now let us peel this situation apart because the truth is drowning in layers of bias, ego, hurt, and clout chasing. If Trippie is telling the truth and Coi cheated first, then she goes from victim to villain. She goes from the wounded woman to the puppeteer who lit the match and walked away. But if Coi is telling the truth and Trippie cheated first, then everything he is saying right now is nothing but desperation, an attempt to rewrite history before her career hits another milestone. And the most exhausting part? Both of them have a long history of spinning narratives online. Both of them use social media like chess pieces. Both of them shade each other publicly whenever they feel bruised. So now, the internet is caught in a crossfire where every accusation, every subtweet, every leaked voice note feels like a weapon. And nobody knows who is lying. Nobody knows who is honest. And honestly, nobody knows if the truth even matters anymore, because the scandal itself has already taken on a life of its own. Add Justin LaBoy into this triangle, a man whose entire brand is broadcasting chaos, and suddenly the whole situation starts feeling like a scripted reality show. It is giving Love and Hip Hop, Nuclear Edition. It is giving This Cannot Be Real Life. It is giving There Must Be Producers Behind the Scenes whispering, "Do it, it will go viral." And yet, here we are, watching it unfold in real time. But here is where the entire situation flips from messy to absolutely cinematic. Several industry insiders have whispered, anonymously of course, that Justin and Coi were looking a little too comfortable around each other back then. Not caught holding hands under a streetlight, comfortable, but the kind of comfort where the air feels thick, where every inside joke lands a little too smoothly, where the way they smile at each other feels rehearsed. You know that vibe, when two people call themselves just friends, but every glance feels like a confession, and every laugh sounds like a secret. And Justin LaBoy? Let us be honest. The man treats women's DMs like a playground, a training ground, and a weekend getaway spot. Sliding into DMs is his cardio. Stirring up romantic chaos is his personality trait. So would it be shocking if he and Coi crossed a line or two back then? Absolutely not. But let us flip the coin, because there is always another side. Trippie Redd has a reputation too, one built on exaggerations, impulsive reactions, emotional turbulence, and the occasional unhinged meltdown that ends up trending for all the wrong reasons. Everyone in the industry knows that he says wild things when he is hurt. He trolls when he feels cornered. He lashes out when he feels embarrassed. And the breakup story absolutely embarrassed him. Coi did not just leave him. She left him publicly, proudly, and with a message that basically said, "I refuse to tolerate disrespect." She took control of the narrative before he could even open his mouth. She did not give him room to spin it. She did not let him play the victim. So now, he is rewriting the story like it is a journal entry he forgot to complete last year. Now let us talk about the alleged tape, because this is where the story takes a sharp turn into absolute darkness. If Trippie truly has a tape of Coi and Justin in a compromising situation, and he is threatening to leak it unless she apologizes, that is not petty anymore. That is not messy. That is not drama. That is blackmail. That is illegal. That is career-ending, lawsuit-launching, PR nightmare chaos. But here is the scariest part: in this industry, a rumor of a tape is almost as damaging as the tape itself. A whisper can ruin a woman's reputation. A blurry screenshot can turn into an entire narrative. One 5-second clip, even if it is fake or taken out of context, can become proof in the eyes of the internet. People do not wait for facts. People do not wait for confirmation. They see drama and run with it like it is gospel. And Trippie knows that. He knows exactly how fragile a woman's image can be in this business. He knows how quickly public opinion turns into judgment. So whether the tape exists or not, the threat alone is psychological warfare. It is emotional cruelty dressed up as telling his truth. It makes the whole situation feel filthier, darker, and far more vindictive than anyone expected. But what makes everything even crazier is that the internet already picked sides. Coi's fans are calling Trippie a manipulator, a liar, a toxic ex who cannot handle accountability. TikTok is full of edits of him disrespecting women. Meanwhile, Trippie's supporters are sitting on the opposite end of the battlefield yelling, Coi is not the innocent sweetheart she pretends to be. They swear up and down that she has been playing the angelic victim card while doing her own dirt behind closed doors. And where is Justin LaBoy in all this? Silent. Completely silent. Not a meme. Not a tweet. Not a messy podcast clip. Nothing. And when Justin goes quiet, that is when you know the situation is too serious even for him. Because that man loves attention like it pays his bills, because it does. So for him to stay silent means one of two things: either the truth is too dangerous, or he is waiting for the perfect dramatic moment to flip the internet upside down with a single interview. But underneath all the chaos, the hashtags, the accusations, the behind-the-scenes whispers, there are two human beings who actually loved each other at one point. Coi has been open about struggling to trust men because of her complicated relationship with her father. She has talked about how hard it is for her to feel emotionally safe. So if she cheated, that goes against everything she has publicly stood for. And if Trippie cheated, that adds another scar to her emotional history. Either way, the wounds run deeper than social media comments will ever show. But here is the part that insiders are whispering the loudest: this whole thing might not even be about cheating. It might be about jealousy. About ego. About insecurity. Around the time they broke up, Coi's career was skyrocketing. Brand deals. Festival stages. Viral songs. Fashion features. She was glowing louder than ever. Meanwhile, Trippie was still relevant, still popular, but not shining the way he once did. The spotlight was shifting, slowly but noticeably. And some men cannot handle watching the woman they love surpass them publicly. For some, it triggers insecurity. For others, paranoia. For many, it triggers jealousy so intense that they begin creating scenarios in their head. And insecurity can twist into suspicion. Suspicion can twist into delusion. Delusion can twist into accusations. So it is entirely possible that Trippie convinced himself that Coi cheated, even without solid evidence. Because when someone already feels unstable or threatened, everything feels like a sign. A laugh becomes flirting. A DM becomes betrayal. A podcast interview becomes proof of emotional intimacy. So perhaps this entire scandal is less about truth and more about perception poisoned by jealousy. But at the same time, there are people who say, no, Coi really was a little too friendly, a little too flirty, a little too outside. And while being friendly does not equal cheating, with a jealous partner like Trippie, it is enough to ignite fireworks. Add two massive fan bases who refuse to believe anything negative about their favorite, and suddenly the truth becomes a casualty in the war of online loyalty. And the wildest part? This story is not slowing down. Not even a little bit. The subliminal shade continues. The cryptic Instagram captions continue. The interview hints continue. And when exes cannot stop talking about each other months after a breakup, it means feelings are still sitting there, whether it is hurt, love, resentment, or bruised ego. Something is lingering. Something is unhealed. Something is burning. But the real questions now are the ones everyone is terrified to ask out loud. Will the tape actually drop? Will Justin LaBoy finally speak? Will Coi address the accusations head-on? Will Trippie double down even harder and unleash more chaos? Because right now, this scandal is unfolding in slow motion, and every person involved pretends they are unbothered while refreshing their notifications every 10 minutes. One thing is guaranteed: whatever happens next is going to shake the internet all over again. And if you think this is messy now, just wait. The real explosion has not even started. But the moment that sent the entire internet into a spiral was the chemistry that Justin and Coi could not hide during that interview. It was not loud, it was not forced, it was not exaggerated for the cameras. It was soft, subtle, natural. That rare, dangerous kind of chemistry that sneaks up on people and turns a simple conversation into a spark that refuses to die. You could see it in the way Justin leaned forward when she spoke. You could see it in the way Coi's eyes softened when he laughed. You could see it in the way their energy synced like they had been orbiting around each other long before the world caught on. And Justin? Oh, he did not ignore it for even a second. He leaned right into it and, with the confidence of a man who has never known self-doubt, asked her on a date right there on camera. No hesitation. No fear. No concern about the millions of viewers who would dissect that moment frame by frame. He knew the clip would go viral. He knew the internet would explode. He knew Trippie Redd would see it. And he still did it. Bold. Unbothered. Intentional. And the moment he said it, Coi flashed that small smile, the kind someone gives when they are caught off guard but secretly thrilled. That was the moment half of social media dropped their phones and screamed. Justin shooting his shot publicly? That was not subtle. That was a declaration. But the real confirmation, the moment everyone realized this was not just on-camera flirting, came after the podcast. Because Justin did not post a vague story. He did not post a clip that could be interpreted a dozen different ways. He posted a photo with the caption, "My Coi respectfully." And the internet lost its mind. Anyone who has been online longer than 5 minutes knew exactly what that meant. That was not a joke. That was not a tease. That was a soft launch. A bold soft launch. He might as well have slapped a neon sign on the image that said, "Yes, I am talking about her. Yes, I meant it. Argue with your phone." And then, as if that moment was not already wild enough, a video started circulating, a clip of Justin grabbing her in a way that was intimate, familiar, and far from platonic. Not disrespectful. Not inappropriate. But definitely not, we barely know each other energy. That was a touch that only happens when there is history, connection, or something quietly building behind the scenes. And suddenly, everyone realized that the interview was not random. It was not spontaneous. It was not two strangers vibing. It was a soft launch in disguise. A warm-up. An introduction to something that had been simmering long before the cameras rolled. Meanwhile, as the internet was swooning over this unexpected pair, Trippie Redd was watching the whole thing with a face full of rage. There were no laughs. No memes. No jokes. No good for her. He was pressed. Deeply pressed. And he made sure the internet saw every ounce of that irritation. But what shocked everyone even more was Coi's response. She did not cry. She did not hide. She did not turn into a victim. She clapped back with the force of someone who was tired of being quiet. She called him a liar. A manipulator. A blackmailer. And people close to her confirmed that the timeline Trippie tried to push was completely false. According to insiders, Coi did not start anything with Justin until months after the breakup. Not days. Not weeks. Months. Meaning she had every right to move on. Every right to start fresh. Every right to let someone treat her with the love and consistency she deserved but never received. And if that timeline is true, Trippie's entire story